Got my eye on you. Welcome, everybody. How you doing? Crystal power, crystal love, crystals in the house. Shungite in the house. Shungite. Everybody needs some shungite. Always good to have one of these. A magnet. So many things that our toolkit now consists of: a crazy conspiracy theory, tinfoil hat wearing nutters club. Interesting times right now. I made a just posted something earlier on with regards to the manipulation of climate, which is the greatest war battle that we're in at the moment. And then, of course, there's other sleight of hand tricks being targeted daily by way of, I guess, manipulating people to believe in the savior of the world, which is Jesus. The other one is politics. You can go on and on. We're all looking for a savior. We're all hoping for a hero. And all the while that's happening, it's the greatest distraction to our health and well-being, because we're waiting for something to happen. Whereas, you know, that waiting, how long have you been waiting? And how many people have you seen drop down dead of cancer while you've been waiting? So you just look back on the past 4 years, and wasn't that the greatest sleight of hand? Wasn't that the greatest trick that ever was created? Oh, but we forgot about that now. Oh yeah, but that's ages ago. So it doesn't stop when you realize that there's a greater force out there which controls the weak to believe in cult and to believe in the fact that there's too many of us and we're taking over the world, and that we should be culled. Of course, that's the greatest. And part of this puzzle that I think, the other part of the puzzle, of course, is that we are merely batteries for a darkness, a satanic evil, or a dark evil that is within this world and feeds from us, which is, of course, all the above. The thing is, we're looking for one thing all the time, and that's where the manipulation, I guess, is the key point. That's the root cause, the manipulating energies that I try and describe in the most simplest of terms. That you've got a room, a single room. Imagine a round table, but they're not all knights. There might be knights of the Templar. They might be the occult, and they're all trying to figure out a way of, you know, culling the world, of controlling the world, of how to manipulate the world, because we are merely chattel to these entities, these manipulators of the world. So it's a constant. Every chess move that you've made, they've already counted that 15 times. They're already way ahead of all of us. And the fact that we know this, the fact that many people understand this, we go through a grieving process. And that grieving process is that we came here because we believed that we could make a difference. And I guess our ego kicks in to think that we can change the world as a singular. And when we realize that we can't change the world as a singular, that, you know, that ego gets deflated, we feel bad. We start getting upset, and then we run away. We all do it, all of us. How many times have you done videos and then realized that it's not made any difference at all? How many times have you interacted with people and felt dreadful afterwards because you haven't made a difference? That person doesn't even listen, has no time for your nonsense because it's, you know, well out of their understanding, and they just don't see it because they're in that energy of just trying to feed their children, or they may be in the energy of greed, of desperation, frustration. And the last thing they're thinking about is what you're thinking about, what you can see at what's going on in the sky this morning. I saw the frequency cloud frequency, you know, modification by the way of HARP, DARPA, CERN, all of the above. And that frequency, after spraying, You can see it. It's almost like you put sand on a drum and you turn the music up. You'll start seeing the vibration, and then you'll have patterns, waves, frequencies, and you can clearly see it in the sky when after they've sprayed their toxins, their poisons, and that's laying in the sky and staying in the sky. Then you can clearly see it looks like, you know, waves almost. So like, you know, you might think, oh, well, it's the wind. No, that's frequency patterns. That is basically all your 5G towers vibrating at a certain frequency, and that is shown in the clouds. Now, that's not every day all the time. I call it a drip feed effect. Drip feed effect is that we just give you just enough so it affects your body little by little by little, and eventually your body will crash. And drip feed is the same with manipulating energies that then it's very hard for you to understand. So, oh, I got a headache. Okay, why did you have that headache? Why did it just come this morning? Why is that? Well, I don't know. Well, hang on, let's look outside the window. Jesus Christ, look at all them planes. There's tons of them. Yeah, it's funny that every time I have a headache and I look up, there's this dust in the sky that we can see. Most people will call it clouds. And of course, we know it's not clouds. Clouds don't work like that. Clouds are different. But, you know, well, the manipulation comes whereby they're telling you that cloud formations have names now. Look, this is this cloud, and that's the name of that cloud. And again, this is all about the programming. It's all about making sure that humanity doesn't wake up, and when they do, they give them the answers. So don't worry about that. We've got the answer for that. Yeah, that's just a cloud. Oh, yeah, I know you haven't seen it before, 30 years ago, but they're new clouds now. Yeah, okay, pal, whatever. Cheers to that. So I made a video with regards to all the things that are happening with my clients. And I've taken note over these 4 years of, the poisons that are in most foods now, processed foods. I've noticed with my clients that drink tap water, I've noticed quite clearly a real pattern of people's energy, and it's not brilliant at the moment. And when your energy is messed up, when you are being fed poison, when you are being rained over, showered by breathing in these metal particles, which are nothing like the health that maybe, say, Dr. Sebi might have talked about years ago when he talked about iron and talked about iron being in the body and being an absolute fantastic thing that we need, because iron is the only conductor of magnets. So it's almost like it brings in all the necessary minerals that we need. I'm talking about metals that should not be anywhere near our body or inside our body, but yet humanity has allowed that by never questioning it and allowing big harm to affect everybody by putting these things in the body by saying, oh, don't worry, it's just a carrier. It just keeps it there. Without that, you wouldn't get what you need. But I guess like anything else, if you are a villain, if you are a low-life scumbag, you're going to try and justify what you do to scam people. You know what I'm saying? If you're a mafioso, if you're, a real hoodwinker who's going to try and take advantage, they're going to give you reasons why. So, we have to be aware of these things. So some people have said to me, give me proof. I can't give you no proof at all, because proof means nothing now. Look at all the scientists who said that in these past 4 years that this poison that's going to be put in everybody, there's going to be a lot of people falling down dead of myocarditis and many illnesses and sicknesses. What about their proof? Where is it? Well, there isn't any. It's been deleted. The only proof you'll ever see on mainstream media is what mainstream media want you to see. Everything else is disregarded and quackery. So how can I prove my point? I can't prove it. And it's very similar to the spiritual realms that I speak of as well. And that is when people say, prove to me that there's such things as ghosts. Prove to me that there's such things as angelic angels. I can't prove that. I can only tell you my experience. And what I've noticed over these 20 years is that it's not about proof base. What difference does it make? Even after you've got your proof, and so what? What's that mean? Means nothing. What's proof mean? Means nothing unless you truly believe in something. So the fact that you'll never see a ghost and it's never been filmed live on camera and, hey, hi, here's a ghost. Oh, by the way, everybody, here's an angel. How you doing? Now, here's first time it's ever happened. How you doing, angel? How's everything got? Yeah, it's not going to happen. And it's not going to happen because of why we're here. And I believe that faith, and I'm not talking religion, I'm talking faith. The word faith means that I believe in something that I cannot touch and feel and see. And I think that we all are here for faith, not religion. I said faith. There's a difference. Faith means, do I believe in something? And the only way that faith comes to most 99% of people is an interaction, an intervention of our home world that cannot be denied by you. Everybody else will laugh. They'll all say, show me proof. And you'll go, well, what are you talking about? How can I prove that I've just felt my mother was here? How can I prove that I just felt, the spirit world tell me not to go down that street because something bad was going to happen? How can I prove to you? I can't prove to you. And I can't prove to you that what's in the sky is poison. Even if you get a scientist that will dig the earth up and check it and say, there is 1,000 parts of aluminium in this soil that shouldn't be here. Or you get somebody who goes up to Mount Shasta, right to the top, and takes some snow and say, there is more aluminium here than where's it come from? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many proof I give you. It doesn't matter how many times you share it to your friends and family. It means nothing, because what means something is your knowing, that faith in that something's wrong. How can you prove it? I can't. I just know it. It's a knowing. And that's what they try to kill. And that's what they're trying to kill at this moment. And what is faith? Faith is a connection between your soul and your spacesuit. And that's the hijack. So these guys around the table are talking about how they can mess with the spacesuit, how we can ruin the spacesuit, how can we deteriorate the spacesuit so that there is no connection between the soul and the nervous system, the pineal gland. How can we sever that? Well, the only way you can sever it is by causing harm to that spacesuit. So inject it with poison, feed it with poison, shower it with poison. And the more you do that, the more you find that bodysuit will fight as hard as hell to clean itself and cleanse itself, because it's got an amazing liver and kidney and stomach, which is constantly detoxing and cleaning all the time. But when you are showered with shite all the time, where you are eating that same crap all the time, when you're drinking that crap all the time, well, eventually the body says, I'm exhausted and I literally can't fight anymore. The immune system is shot. Your little workforce are exhausted. They're old, they're tired, and they can no longer function the way they do. So now you start getting fog mind. Like, Jesus Christ, I can't remember. What was I going to say? Oh, where was I going to go? What was I going to do? And then I haven't had any really beautiful thoughts lately. I haven't had any new thoughts. I haven't had this connection to, oh my God, yeah, I should do this. Oh, I should go and see so-and-so. Oh, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't do that. Someone's telling me, yeah, because everything is an attack on your consciousness. So they know that the spacesuit, if you can kill the spacesuit, you will then have a lack of consciousness connection to your spacesuit. It works like a hand in glove. your spiritual, your conscious, your soul, and your spacesuit work hand in hand. It was made for each other. So let's mess up the physical body. Okay, let's mess the physical body. Okay, yeah, it can't get in anymore. So therefore, there is no connection. There's no connection. So people were saying, well, point me in the right direction of where the truth is, and give me science. It's very frustrating when I hear that, because if that's all you're after, then it's meaningless. It really is meaningless. You have to believe it in yourself. You've got to know what feels right. You know what, Mark? I'm not so sure about that, but I kind of feel that. Well, that's where you are now. What do you mean? Well, every time you listen to, like, I listen to many people, right? I love listening to people talk and discuss their wisdom and their belief system and their faith. And sometimes it's like opening a book and reading a book, and all of a sudden you just read one line that just, boom, that's it. Well, the reason why that's it is because that is where you are at that very moment. That is the moment that you need that specific message, that one health message, that one amazing piece of information that's going to help you along your journey. Now, I believe there's a higher energy involved, not just your consciousness, but I believe that our spirit world nudges us to the right book, to the right video, to the right whatever it may be. We're nudged in the right direction for that boom. So why is it that you open that book up 6 weeks later and read that very same passage and it doesn't mean anything anymore? And then you continue reading it, or you'll go back to the start and something will go boom. And you read it before, but it meant nothing. Why is that? Well, this is a really powerful thing that you should know. It's because your consciousness and the spirit world combined, because you are one with our home world, you are part of the ocean, but you are separate at the moment, but you are still part of that ocean. You will always go back to that ocean. You can't sell your soul. You can only give your free will away. So the whole point about this beautiful soul of yours is under attack. So that's why they call it a spiritual battle. And there is a spiritual battle for your soul, or in plain terms, they want to destroy your spacesuit from your soul so you cannot have that connection anymore, so that you won't be given the right information to say, hang on, I smell a rat. Or there's something that doesn't you know what? I'm not doing that. No, I'm not doing that. When you disconnect that and it doesn't go together, then all you've got is the brain. Now, I'm not saying the brain's bad, but let's face it, everything that you've been fed in life up to this moment, I guarantee you, will be a minimum of 90% lies, manipulations, distortions, manipulations by the very system, by history, by big pharma, by advertising, by mainstream media. So everything's been digested up here that you've listened to. You can't discern it because your consciousness isn't no longer connected to your spacesuit, because you're eating processed foods. You're watching porn, or you're doing, things that maybe you shouldn't be doing. Maybe you're not putting your effort into looking after your body. Maybe you just don't give a damn about anything. Thus, the connection's gone. Hard to meditate, hard to relax, hard to sleep, hard to be balanced, hard to have, a beautiful, happy, emotional state, hard to find peace because of all of the brainwashing that has happened. So once you are disconnected, this is why it's so important to keep connected to your consciousness, because that is the driving force to your balance. That's why it seems so important to go out into Mother Nature and to sit by a tree. Why? Because the frequency that happens as sitting down, that grounding energy, it's like an electrical force that clears your body and heals your body. There's a reason why certain films show you magical trees where you get information from. You've watched Avatar. There's a reason why that they're showing you trees give us incredible energy. And that's where so much connection to the consciousness happens and beautiful ideas spring. I wrote most of my great books and quotes and thoughts and feelings under a tree. Oh, it's just a tree. Okay, pal. Yeah. Okay, keep going then. No problem. Nobody's trying to convince you that a tree has incredible energy. Nobody's trying to convince you that if you walk in a forest, that it actually heals you in such a way that nothing can heal you the same in a spiritual sense. Nothing. Healing, pure energy healing comes very close, but nothing as close as Mother Nature. So that the spacesuit is constantly healing itself, constantly working on cleansing and clearing itself, but it needs help. It might need a lemon today. Why would you use a lemon? Well, everything in nature is that what heals the body. That's why you've been put on this earth, and everything that grows from the earth is given to you to eat so that you live in balance and you have this beautiful harmony, energy and frequency via fresh fruit and vegetables. That's why it's important to try and eat fruit and vegetables at its highest energy frequency. So the best and most powerful frequency of eating fruit and vegetables is pull it out of the earth and eat it straight away. Then you've got a double energy force, which is the natural energy force that is around and within it at that moment. And then you eat the physical, which heals the body as well. So there's a dual energy. So the first 30 minutes of eating a fresh fruit from a tree, if you pull it out, you are also eating its life force. And that is incredible for your body. So when you have a lemon has its own special medicine for the body. It has its, that doesn't just grow to put in martinis. Okay, it's not putting, alcohol as a slice. It has a function for your beautiful spacesuit. It has a function for it, and there's many functions that this is used for: ions and anions. So I can't even say it anymore. But anyway, it's one of the only fruit that has anions. And what does that mean? Doesn't mean anything to me. That what it means to me is if I eat that, it's going to heal my liver, and it also heals the kidneys as well, to a point where miracles happen. This is a miracle cure for people who have terrible issues with liver and kidneys. Now, I'm not a doctor, but I have seen through my clients after drinking that in the morning or 3 times a day, that it clears the whole of the liver and kidneys, and then all of a sudden that person is healed via a little bit of influence and a little bit of guidance to stop eating shit and processed foods and sugars. So these are the things, when if you cut an apple and you open the apple up, if you look at the apple, the signature in the apple is 5 points. And 5 points is basically, if I open my arms and legs out, you've got the 4 points of your arms and legs, and the head is the 5th point. What does it mean? It means that an apple heals the whole of the spacesuit, the whole of your body. So it brings in tens of thousands of energy, miracle, electric. It electrifies the whole of the body, and that thus an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Eat the pips as well, which also is fantastic for your body, because that's a healer of any kind of cancers. So that's a good thing to do. If you try and look, if you just click on, let's just try this, shall we? We'll do it together. It's always good to do it together. We'll go to the old faithful bullshit Google search engine. Is eating apple pips bad for you?
According to Healthline, apple seeds contain amygdalin, a substance that releases cyanide into the bloodstream when chewed and digested. However, apple seeds in small amounts do not contain enough cyanide to cause harm. However, it is better to spit out seeds to avoid any potential issues.
So anything that Google says, do the opposite and you'll be okay. So worst case scenario, I've studied this many years, 20 years now, and I've eaten apple pips, and I ate like 5. I tried a little test. I ate 10, 15. Sometimes you feel a little bit nauseous when you get to 20, 25, but it doesn't make you feel bad. It doesn't kill you. It doesn't do anything like Big Hammer does. So don't worry about that. There's not 50 side effects to a natural apple pip. So a long time ago, the world, before the world what we live in, that everything's destroyed and manipulated, there used to be a lot more bitter fruit, a lot of bitter fruit. And bitter fruit is that what's missing in our diet. And bitter fruit, a bit like the kernels from apricots, inside there, the bitter, it's always tastes, anything bitter is really good for you. It's what's missing in our diet. So I have apricot kernels. I eat them because it's good for the cleansing of the body and healing of the body of cancers. So there's so many things that you can use. Like I go from different things because I know my body changes. So I'm taking this at the moment, which is I'm feeling great on it. It's called Shilajit or Shilajit. So basically what it is minerals. And I also take silica, but certain silicas. But this one is fantastic. And I'm loving it. How long have I been taking raw coconut? I've been taking raw coconut now every day, about a teaspoonful every day. I'm just on some lion mane at the moment. But what I do is I try and take as much natural food as possible. So fruits and vegetables, always fruits and vegetables. But what I try and do is try and see my fruit and vegetables as medicine, right? I don't see it as, oh, fruit, it's nice to have after a meal. I try and think about it through the day when I'm here. What fruit does my body crave today? And my body craved banana today. So maybe it's potassium, lack of potassium. I don't know. But I went for the fruit that I feel is good for me. So I'm saying fruit to you, but I call it medicine. So I went for the medicine I need today. So I see it as medicine. And by seeing it as medicine, one, it kind of makes you realize that how important that is, and how Mother Nature, how Mother Earth, the feminine, not the moon, Mother Earth, which is feminine. Mother Earth is feminine. Okay? The skies, masculine, father, the skies. The skies is father, the mother is. And that's why when the rain comes down from father to mother, it feeds mother and gives her, like a man would give a woman, the seed to produce a baby. When father rains down its seeds over, its water over the land, and then the seeds are produced, there you've got all this fertile, loving, wonderful medicine that heals us. And so I do wholeheartedly believe as well that where you were born, I think, is probably a very, very good source of food. And now that there's cross-contamination, basically food shipped from all over the world, which is all poisons now, it's not brilliant, I think, for his body. So I like in England local source food, which would have been my food, but I live here now in Spain. So the food that I get, I try and get the same as what grows in the UK. But I also do like to try different fruits as long as they're absolutely organic. But I'm just saying that I think that where we were born, I'm not so sure whether we were meant to fly everywhere and travel and live in different parts of the world, which we do. But I think we were probably meant to be where we were born. And there's something in that the foods, that the natural foods that are grown where we live should be the foods that we eat most of all. But we don't do that anymore, which again, I could be completely wrong because I'm healthy and happy and I eat fruits here that aren't grown in the UK. I'm just saying it's just a little thing that I thought about in my mind. And I also, attuned to it when I was giving readings. And I used to say to my clients, where are you from? And then I'd say certain fruit and vegetables, and that would be what they like. And that's what a lot of people get sick because they eat things that is not where they were born from. So I'll give you a great example. I wasn't born in, say, India. And yet when I have an Indian meal, which is prepared as a man from India would cook, and my stomach can't take that so much. But yet, if you speak to the Indian people where they live and they cook the Indian foods with the spices and all that, that's just normal. They don't have no issues. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that. I'm not telling you not to eat other foods. I'm just saying that there's something in that. So I didn't want to go off on one, but when I was reading for clients who had a lot of sickness because of a lot of poisons that they were taking into the body, I remember closing my eyes and not knowing what it was with one client, and I saw a milk bottle and a Scottish thistle. And I said, I don't know why I'm seeing a milk bottle, but I'm also seeing a Scottish thistle. And when I'd finished the reading, she got up and she said, I just want to show you something. And she opened a bag and she went like this, and it said milk thistle. And I was absolutely blown away. And so was she. She told all her friends, and I probably got about 50 clients through saying that. But the point being is, all right, what is milk thistle? I'm writing it down, and I'm going to my herbalaria here, and I asked what milk thistle is, and apparently it's a cleanser for the wrong metals in the body. So it clears that. It also strengthens the mind. It's so that was interesting. So I started taking that. I also started taking ginkgo biloba as well. That's again cleanser and clearer and clears. And then I was on like the sea stuff. You've tried the sea stuff, right? So the sea algae and all the sea moss and stuff like that. Again, another beautiful. Then I went on to listening to some great people talk about how to cleanse the body through herbs. So there's so many herbs that, in America, where I went to America, LA, and I went to, I can't remember what it is, Picania. It's one canyon anyway. It was a canyon. It wasn't Laurel. It was another one beginning with P. And there was a herbalaria there, and I'd got like blue vein, and there's just so many different ones that, like, this woman says, wow, your herbs. And I'm like, no, I don't. I just know Dr. Seabit, and I've studied him for, at least a year now. And these are the herbs that I want to take. And so she gave me all the herbs apart from one that she didn't have. And she said it's hard to get hold of. And then I started boiling the herbs, and I started drinking the tea. I went through about 6 months process with that. Then I started with turmeric, cilantro, oregano, and so on. So I've worked on my. I think what I'm saying is I work on my body every day. I don't stick with one protocol. I'll do a protocol for so long and then go on to something else. So I won't stop from healing my body and working on it constantly. So the body is a work in motion. The body is a constant work in motion. And I will say this, the amount of shit in this world that people are eating and they're still alive tells you that the body is incredible. So on a physical note, there's nothing really to worry about because the body will always fight at the end of the day. But there's a point that your body reaches that there's no return. That's drugs, whether it be big harmer or drugs that, recreational drugs to some people, the processed food, all sugars, all food colorings, flavorings, that's another really bad one, and so on. So your body will only take it for so long, and then there's a point of no return. What that means is that you can't go back to how you used to be, and your body can't function the way it used to function, in the sense that it doesn't have the ability. Just say some of your workforce have died. They're no longer there anymore. So there's only so many of your workforce in your body now. So what I tried to do, or what I tried to do over the years, is try to help people with this understanding of the point of no return. So what I used to do is close my eyes and try and find a point of no return, meaning that if you continue this path, the way you are, where you're eating, the way you're living with this abusive man, the way you're doing, there's a point of no return. Something will happen, and you can't change that now. You can't make it better. Now you're just stuck with what you've got. It might be that you're in a hospital, and you've had a heart attack, you've had a stroke, you've had something that is so bad that, it could be cancer, no return cancer. It could be what's called a breakdown, where you just can't get back from that breakdown. And I've seen a lot of people who have gone to that stage where they've ended up being an absolute mess and they can't live life anymore normally. So the point being is, as a healer and a psychic, I used to try and attune to that point of no return. Some people listened and many people didn't. And it's awful to see when people hit that point and they can't go back. It's just they have to now live with the consequences of you abusing your body. So the point being is, if we learnt this from children, if kids learnt this in a lovely book way of saying, if you keep doing this, eventually your body will not be able to serve you as it should. So there's only so long that your body can manage this. Now, there's some people out there in the world that have a suit of armor, right, inside their body. It's a suit of armor. They can eat the worst crap. They can drink poison, and it's like it doesn't affect them. There are people in this world. I've talked about my best friend, Paul Dyson. He eats the worst food, and he's the strongest person. He's nearly in his 80s, and he's never been sick a day in his life. I'm not like that. And I'm not so sure the world is like that. There's only a few people like that in this world. So that's a fascinating subject in itself. But I'm talking about those who are sensitive, those who feel that the body is being contaminated, that the body needs things that the average person like you and me, we need to fulfill the body with fruit and vegetables, with healthy herbs, with healthy nutrients and all the things that the body craves for. So going back to this understanding, if you have a connection to your consciousness, you can call it your intuition. It's your consciousness speaking to you. Your consciousness says, no, today we need this. Today you need that. Today we need to eat this. So you once you kill the body. Remember, all these guys around this table are trying to kill your gift of feeling, your gift of all the senses. So they know you've got loads of senses. They want to kill all your senses. Every day, everything that they do, everything that they feed you, everything that they rain upon you, every frequency that they fire at you is basically to kill all your body clocks, all your intuition to connect to the body. So you then become only mind, and you are a walking automaton robot that has no feeling, that can't feel anymore, that just, you think you've got feelings, but you're not. You're just in your head. You're screaming and shouting. You're angry. You're frustrated with the world, but you're not feeling anything. You're not at peace. And that's what they're trying to create a world of hate, create a world of fear, create a world of confusion. And what you've got is complete control over everybody, because nobody has their power anymore. Nobody has their intuition anymore. So they can't go anywhere for it. They don't know where to go for it because they can't attune anymore. So nobody's speaking to them anymore. Nobody's speaking, only this, which is a computer system filled with so many different experiences, what you've been through and all the crap and all the nonsense, all the lies, all the manipulations. The filter, as a physical body, your filter is your stomach. Your filter is your liver and kidneys. In a spiritual aspect of yourself, your filter is your consciousness. Your soul is the filter of your life, of your journey. And if that is not connected to you anymore, because it's been severed by frequency manipulation, by spraying from above with all the heavy metals that are going into your body, that's giving you the brain fog, that's giving you the Alzheimer's. And you're eating all the poisons that your body then is only trying to fix and heal because it can't go anywhere else. And it's just messed up. Your whole body's messed up. If your whole body's messed up, the last thing you're going to be thinking about is how we can make the world a better place. What is my path? What is my journey? Why am I here? What is life all about? How can I make a difference? How can I give, share, care, love? So ultimately, the attack is all of the above. You want proof of that? I can't give you proof of that. I can't give you no proof. And even if I gave you the proof, it wouldn't make any difference. Proof means nothing. The only thing that means anything is if you're going to get up off your backside and make a difference in your life and in your world. So I can sit with people all day long who claim to be spiritual. And then I look at their life and watch what they do, what they eat, what they say, what they drink, what they smoke, what they, and like, you're not spiritual at all. You're the furthest from spiritual. You're speaking spirituality because you've learned it up here, but you're not actually spiritual at all. You have not a spiritual bone in your body, but you can regurgitate information of spirituality, but you're not really spiritual, pal. I've met people who claim to be the greatest health experts in the world. I've watched them do things thinking, you just regurgitate information. You're not really healthy at all. In fact, you're far from healthy. You're actually eating poison. And I've saw it. When I was in Bali, I saw all these wonderful, amazing people that I believed. I'm like, they're justifying having sugar. I'm going crazy or what? But am I realizing that most people are just regurgitating information because they're not connected to the consciousness? And the reason why they're not connected to the consciousness is because they're doing all the wrong things. I'm not saying I'm perfect, furthest from it. I'm just telling you how generally people are. The only person who can give you the information, whether you're looking for source and you want to know if it's true, is within yourself. And what does that matter anyway? I've got the proof. Yeah, but you're not even doing anything about it. You're still eating crap. You're still doing all the same thing. You're not doing anything. Now you've got all the information. Well, you're not doing anything. So you're spreading this information, but hang on a minute. You don't practice what you preach. You don't walk the walk, talk the talk. You're just talking. You're just preaching. So when you come to terms with this, you realize that very few people actually look after themselves, actually really heal themselves. But the point being is finding the balance of your health and well-being. If you are in full paranoia mode because of what I've said today, then that's wrong. And I've been a bad teacher today. What I'm trying to say is your body is incredibly powerful. It heals 24 hours, every second of every moment. It's healing you. It's cleaning you. So when you feel sick, when you feel ill, when you feel fluey, when you've got a cold, that means your body is functioning really well. It means it's detoxing. So basically, I'm not slapping you on the wrist, but there is a reason why you're sick. There's a reason why your body is venting all the poisons that are in your body, because you've eaten that poisons, or you haven't cleansed yourself properly of the poisons. But the good news is your body is brilliant because it's healing you. Most people run to the doctors and then stop that healing process straight away. Swallow a tablet and then suppress the sick that should have come out of your mouth, or the poisons that should have come out of your mouth. So then it goes down to your bum, and then you run to the doctors and get another tablet to stop that. So then your body then panics and then tries to figure out another way to get it out of the body. So it tries to come out of the nose then, and then you stop it from coming out of the nose, and then it goes into your bloodstream, and then it takes months for it to come out of your biggest organ, which is your paws. So you should, whenever you're feeling sick, you're not sick. You're not sick at all. You're detoxing. That's brilliant. So when somebody says, oh, I feel really bad, don't feel bad. Your body's detoxing. Treat that as a ceremony. Treat this as a beautiful example, as your body is incredibly powerful and is actually working. So therefore, yeah, slap on the wrist, because you should have detoxed. You should have maybe, done a few days cleansing. You should have done maybe a few days fasting on water fast. It doesn't matter though. Your body's now kicking in and doing it for you. So now you need to rest up, let your body do its work. And then soon as you're strong again, soon as you're back to normal again, your energy or your body strengthens even more, because it's like it kind of your body, you've got a body workforce that only kicks into place when something major happens to your body. So you've got like one set of workforce that work daily. So they're the full-timers. They're full-time working. Then you've got part-timers who only come out when something really bad happens. So my understanding of a lot of mainstream medicine is that they'll poison the body even more, so that your other force workers come out and fix you. So that I find interesting. Antibiotics. So they actually poison you even more for your other workforce to come out and sort the job out. So they're actually manipulating your body to start your other workforce to come out and fix everything. Imagine that. So what does that mean? That means that they realize that the real healer inside your body is your own body and workforce. But yeah, we won't talk about that. Let's talk about fluffy clouds today, and how saying love and light is the only thing that matters. Well, it is. It does. But so does everything else. So spiritually speaking, how do we heal ourselves? The most powerful energy in the world is called placebo. It was hijacked. The real word prior to placebo was self-healing, but they knew self-healing was so powerful and they didn't want that to happen, so they needed to change that word. So then they called it placebo. So every time you hear the word placebo, you now need to remember, oh yes, placebo means self-healing. Then you've cracked it. You've got it. You've got how it works. So most placebo, when somebody swallows one, is basically your belief in the placebo, which was a white sugar tablet. So you stick that in your mouth, your doctor says, you're all good now. 7 days, you'll be back to normal. Well, you would have been back to normal in 7 days anyway, because your body will fix yourself after 3 days anyway, normally. So if you just leave for 3 days, your body, you'll find that most of the time your body will fix after 3 days. Not all, but most people, depending on what you've got. But then you realize that you give somebody a tablet and then they're healed from what they thought they had, which could be anything emotional, it could be physical, it could be anything, that their body fixes very quickly. Why is that? Because you believed in a white tablet, you believed in a man in a white coat, so that your body then had something to believe in to then activate and self-heal itself. So there is something about higher frequency and energy of belief in yourself. And most people, unfortunately, don't believe in themselves, right? So you won't heal yourself. You won't believe that you can heal yourself, so you won't. But if somebody tells you that this is going to heal you, and you believe in that tablet, which if you just think about it, the sugar tablet didn't fix you. So what fixed you? Think about it. It was you. It was your belief in the white tablet. It was the belief in something that isn't anything. Your belief, and I realized and put that same methodology into healing clients, but also clearing away very heavy and dark energies that were in my clients and around them. So I realized that I didn't need a cross. It was not the cross that was healing them that I held in my hand, which I didn't. I quickly realized it's my belief in healing this person. So whatever my spiritual belief is at that point, so you can be a Orthodox priest, you can be a Catholic priest. If you believe enough in what you're doing, you can heal and you can help people. I believed enough in the power of healing. I didn't need a tablet. I didn't need a cross. I didn't need anything. I just believed in the power that resides through me and goes into the client. I realized that there is an amazing energy that is around us that we can utilize. I realized that our heart is like a battery, and that too can heal people. But I realized very quickly, every time I went to my heart, using my heart energy, I got exhausted. But if I just opened up and allowed this energy to come through and heal my client, they would be healed. They'd go back to the doctors, and the doctors say, well, there's some things we can't explain, right? So you can actually, you actually explain it very well with placebo. Well, no, you can't explain, says the doctor. It's just that they're imagining it. No, they're not imagining it. They were sick. They were ill. And they came in and you gave them a sugar tablet and now they're okay. Explain it. Yes, some things can't be explained. No, you can explain it, mate. You can explain it very well because you were just told that you went to a healer called Mark or Jenny or any of you guys, Jamie or whoever's watching, came to you for a healing session and then they were healed. Oh, no, that can't be explained. What about the tablet that you gave in and they're healed? Yeah, it's just in their head. No, mate, you really need to go back to relearn life. And it's not all about chemicals. It's not all about poisons. There is another world as well. And that world of the body being extremely powerful and utilizing both mind, body, and soul, utilizing and acknowledging the power that lies within us, which they don't want you to. I mean, imagine me having a huge business all over the world, and it's push bikes. All push bikes. I'm the only one who sells the push bikes and nobody else can fix that push bike apart from me and all the people that I've trained. Imagine one day that you learn to train yourself how to fix a push bike. Imagine if all the world learns how to fix a push bike. What do you think is going to happen to my business and all the people that I employ? They're going to go out of business. The same thing with what's called big pharma and the medical industry. So that's, people like you and I are dangerous. What's he doing spreading truth and health and well-being? That's no good for us. We're going to lose our job. We're going to lose our business. And so these are the things that we have to embrace. The fact that there's nobody here really to help us. Not really, not as a system is concerned. It's here to take advantage of you. And from that system that takes advantage of you, once that advantage is taken of you, then you become sick. And then you feed the very entity and negative energy that's in this world. Win-win situation for them. You become sick. And so that those that made you sick and those that paid and helped those that made you sick, well, guess what? They get a wage rise. They become more powerful. Why? Because they're in control of the world and nobody's willing to speak or do anything because they're all sick. So it's easier to control the world and so on and so on. But you already knew this, and I didn't really need to tell you any of this because you already know all this. So maybe today is just a reminder of 155, 56 people who are online now listening to this. Reminders are always good. But let me just repeat myself. There's people who talk all day and scroll all day and serve no purpose in this world. And guess what? You are absolutely one that the darkness loves and don't need to worry about. Don't need to. You are complicit to all that is happening. If you are not getting up and creating in this world and making a difference, if you are not healing your body every day, if you are not finding joy and happiness in your life, if you're not working on your higher self in so many ways, then you are part of those who have conformed. I sat today in a cafe just before I went to see my accountant and solicitor. As I was sat there, I looked at about 15 tables. I was going to record it. I got my phone in my bag. I was pulling it out and I thought, I can't be asked, put it back. And I sat and just thought about you know, this morning, thought about yesterday, thought about my birthday, thought about wonderful things. It was amazing. I actually thought about wonderful things. Can you imagine that? Having my own thoughts? That's right, because most people don't anymore. Because everybody in that cafe was on their mobile phones and they weren't speaking to themselves. They weren't thinking. They were just being programmed constantly. What a frightening thought. What a frightening thought. So I wish you all a lovely day. Take care of yourselves. And this was a truth bomb, food for thought. Have a great day. And leave you with one thing. What are you going to do today to make a difference? That's all I'll leave you with. But I love you all. Take care, guys.